Okay, our next speaker is none other than the Mayor of the City of West Torrance, Honorable John Trainer.
Thank you very much. I've seen so many times at ethnic affairs over recent years, and her husband Eddie, who's as great a support to her as my wife is to me. Norm Schuller, the chairman of the Multicultural and Ethnic Affairs Commission, and also one of the head honchos at the Australia Day Council, and I've been a pleasure to be involved in that with him. And I'll also put in a mention for Councillor Graham Nitschke, who's sitting in the second row there. And I've got to be very careful what I say because there's an election on at the moment, but I think I can get away with saying he's one of the very best councillors that I have on the council. Good on you, Graham. Filipinos, Filipinas, and Australianos. Magandang Umaga at Mabuhay. You're having this fiesta in probably just about the most multicultural council area in South Australia. It's a multicultural district. We have multicultural council with people from so many different ethnic backgrounds who've been elected as councillors. And with the current elections, we're probably going to have many more. There's going to be some big changes in the council. This is my last week as mayor. I finish on or about November the 10th at the time of the election. I think I still linger on for 2 or 3 days after that until it becomes official. But that puts an end to a community involvement. 14 years as a high school teacher, 14 years as a member of the state parliament, and 18 and a half years as mayor. And I'm very pleased that my council, and I'm sure whoever's the next mayor, it will continue, has always supported festivals like this, right down to the little details like the chairs. If you have a look, you'll see our logo on the back of a lot of them. I first became involved with the Filipino community through my good friend Dante Wanta, who many of you know. And we were on the same parish pastoral council of a school, Plimpton School, back in the 1970s. And he interested me greatly in what I could learn about the Philippines. And when I was studying at university, I did a particular project one year on the Philippines, its history and its future. And you come from a country that really, if it wasn't for politics, should be an absolute paradise. It's the sort of place that with the ground so fertile, you put an ice cream stick in the ground and it grows into a tree overnight. It should be the most wonderful place, but there's unfortunately things occasionally happen. Sometimes nature isn't very kind either with what happens with weather events. And I got the opportunity to visit in 1986, 1987, and I had the privilege of meeting Cardinal Sin. I mean, at that particular time, I was the Speaker of the State Parliament, and I had the privilege of having him as my guest when he came to Australia a couple of years later. And every year since then, I've had a reasonably close involvement with this particular ethnic community. When I created the Glandore Community Centre back in the 1990s, PHILASA, the Philippine Association of South Australia, was one of the first tenants, and wonderful people they were in helping it. Eventually so successful that they outgrew that, but you've gone from strength to strength. And the thing is, Filipinos have been part of a diaspora, like people often over there had a bit to do with it. I hope you have a great fiesta. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to extend Jing the courtesy of listening to her remarks, as she's patiently been listening to mine, because I have to leave early because I'm due somewhere else to have to be there by 12 o'clock, so I'm going to have to leave straight away. But I'll just finish by saying, Mabuhay Pilipinas, Maramalang Salamat po. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mayor John Trainer. Now, the next speaker is none other than the chair of SAMEAC, Mr. Norman Schuller, OAM.
I would like to acknowledge the Honourable Jing Lee, MLC, Assistant Minister to the Premier, Mr. Darryl Johnson, Honorary Consul for the Philippines, the Honourable Don Trainer, OAM, Mayor of the City of West Torrance. Carmen Garcia, President of the Filipino Communities of Australia, Ms. Letty de la Serna, chairperson of the Filipino network. Malik Yang Pak Dan Tang. Welcome. It's my pleasure to be here today for this wonderful Philippine Fiesta of South Australia. I understand that this is the third Philippine Fiesta organised by the Filipina network, and I congratulate those who have worked so hard to make the event such a success. The Philippine Fiesta is now firmly cemented in place in South Australia's busy and illustrious multicultural calendar. I want to congratulate the committee on choosing such a fantastic venue here in West Torrens. The council area is amongst the most culturally diverse in our state, and the council, under the remarkable leadership of Mayor John Traynor, is to be commended for its inclusive range of services and programs. At the conclusion of the local government elections, John Traynor is standing down as mayor, having held the office since 2000. I take this opportunity to congratulate and thank him for his outstanding leadership and his commitment to multiculturalism throughout his time as mayor. Ladies and gentlemen, with the continued growth of the Filipino community, it is now amongst the largest migrant communities in South Australia. In this century's migrant intake, those from the Philippines are now the state's fourth largest source country for migrants, mostly skilled migrants, with many who are being reunited with their families. This, of course, is wonderful for the Filipino community because, amongst other things, it increases your capacity to hold social and cultural events such as this fiesta. And it's clear the Filipino community is among the best at holding parties. But I want to take this opportunity to mention other advantages of having a flourishing Filipino community in South Australia. As you would be aware, the Philippines is a rapidly developing economy with growing businesses, highly skilled professionals, and enterprising and hard-working entrepreneurs. South Australia is hungry for migrants to help grow our economy and with skills to fill vacancies which cannot be filled locally. And migrants from around the world are playing a key role in transforming the previously one-way road of migration into a two-way highway of trade, commerce and cultural exchanges. All members of the Filipino community can play a role in this by encouraging and facilitating trade and economic cooperation with the Philippines, by being proactive trade ambassadors for South Australia, and by encouraging more people to consider migrating to South Australia. We must all work together to continue building on the ever-flourishing relationship between the Philippines and South Australia. The potential for growth between our two countries is enormous. It spans importing and exporting, infrastructure, agriculture, and countless other endeavours. Ladies and gentlemen, I know there's much more to come today, and a huge program of Filipino music, song and dance to entertain all the crowd for all the afternoon. And let's not forget the food. Filipino food is seriously delicious. I can't wait to try some. Of course, there's much more to the Filipino community than food and entertainment. The Filipino community here in South Australia is led by strong community leaders who capably represent your community, take pride in your successes and advocate for your needs. I know that it takes many people volunteering hours to make hours of time to make an event such as this so successful. Thank you everyone from the Filipino Community Network of South Australia and the Fiesta Committee, ably led by Letty, for all of your effort. It has truly paid off and you should be very proud. This Fiesta is a fine example of multiculturalism at work. Maligayang.